I had this idea to start a toll-free service after I was inspired by Petwin on our Patram episode.
Okay.
So where he said like phone a friend, phone a parent. And I was thinking, why don't we start a toll-free service to like connect with our parents or grandparents or whatever in Goa, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking of calling it like toll-free 1-800-MUJ-MAI. So it'll be
MUJ?
MUJMAI.
Okay.
So 1-800-MUJMAI. So yeah, they're a great way to connect with our parents and grandparents.
Yeah.
So yeah, free service for everyone, toll free.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. I think so.
Yeah, that'd be great way. Yeah.
Different.
I mean, yeah, it's
But-
a brilliant idea. We should try. You should definitely look into it for 2024. Huh?
Yeah. Inspired.
Yeah.
Thanks to Petwin Fernandez.
Yeah, all credit to him. We'll be running after you now.
Welcome to Kiss Me I'm Goan, the Christmas finale. And before y'all all go like, Osna go puta. No, we're not going to like stop the podcast. No, this is just a finale to the season 1, and we're going to have season 2 starting next year. And we
Yes.
said let's end the year with a nice finale episode, right?
True.
We talk about Christmas and
Yeah,
what
we got our Christmas cats on as well.
as you can
Looking all
see
festive.
here, ho ho ho. That didn't sound right. So yeah, we got our Christmas hats on, and little tiny Christmas trees over here.
Yeah, you
Small
got yours.
one.
Looks cute, by the way.
Yeah.
Very nice when you go back.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Donde
Yeah.
estás, Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Very Santa Claus. So yeah, but Neil, speaking of Christmas, what do you like about Christmas in Goa? Like, and I know we are in the Gulf, and what do
Yeah.
you miss about?
Yeah, I mean, I think Christmas in Goa it's actually the true festive season. I think we missed that in Dubai, because we're kind of so
Yeah.
separated. We're like, there's your neighbors. That's where the essence of Christmas is. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, we used to go to the village. The lady who took care of us.
Right, you were saying.
In Lothalam, yeah. So Christmas was predominantly over there because it was like freedom. You get to do
But
whatever you want.
I was just wondering. I never asked you this, but since your parents were in the Gulf, right? Were in Dubai. Would you go for Christmas to Dubai, or would you be in Goa itself? How was that?
So there were some Christmases in Dubai.
Okay.
Like I said before in the previous episode, I used to negotiate those trips.
Okay.
So it was like, okay, you did well in school, so you can come for Christmas
alright.
to Dubai.
Okay.
So, but 9 out of 10 times I flunked Hindi, so it was back in Goa.
Oh,
only.
shit. And your parents wouldn't come down for Christmas?
Yeah, they used to
were
come.
stuck?
They came a
They
couple
came.
of times. Yeah, but
Okay,
I mean, what memory I have of fun times in Goa.
Right.
I have it like even in Margam for that matter. We did that. We used to go Christmas caroling.
Okay,
I don't know if you remember this. So we used
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
We used to.
I mean,
we used to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even back in Shishini as well.
Yeah,
would go,
we used to go like everyone gets together. Nobody can sing for nuts, but we all in
Yeah.
chorus kind of playing. And I remember because as you will remember, I was the drummer boy in school, so I was obviously on the drums or the tambourine, the one
right,
which
right.
kind of is like almost like a drum beat kind
Rapa-pum-pum.
of, yeah. So we used to do that. So
Okay.
that's what I have. If I were to ask a vague memory back home of Christmas,
Right.
this would be it. What I used to love at least. And then of course, who can forget the Christmas sweets?
Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
Yeah,
I
used
think
to love.
I'm trying to name every sweet which we have in the kuswar, right? The
Yeah.
full thing. I think that we have the dodol, then we have the pinagr, then we have perad, then we have batk,
Wow.
bolinas,
Oh, yeah,
Neurios,
yeah,
and bibinka.
yeah.
So
true.
yeah.
You know what I realized? Sorry to cut you off. You know what I realized getting in after of a season. I mean, we've done this is our 10th episode.
Yeah.
I've realized that you're definitely more Goan than me.
I think it's also, I guess, you and I have been out of Goa, right?
Yeah.
For some time. Okay,
Yeah.
I do go down
Yeah.
to see my folks and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've been apart from Goa. That's why we tend to forget. And I think that's one of the reasons for the podcast.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
We want
definitely.
to jog our memory, so to speak. And
I mean, like
relive.
just now you went with I don't know, I think 6 or 7 of the
Yeah,
sweets.
yeah. It's
and
like the
trust
7
me,
Emirates.
I wouldn't be able to remember them offhand if
of
it
course.
wasn't. I mean,
Even
in
now,
this
I'm just
conversation.
thinking in fact, I was at a friend's place and we were talking about the Christmas sweets And she was like, I mean, here we wouldn't do it. I don't know. Goa also, it must have been. I think it's toned down a bit about giving sweets to each other.
Yeah.
I think now everybody's like sugar conscious, and
Probably.
they don't want to like make too many sweets, and of course it's, I think, the amount of visitors you have,
Yeah.
like visiting your home, right, on Christmas Day and things like that. So
Yeah, I think that also died down. I remember a lot of people used to make Christmas visits. Family used to drop by, and it was kind of almost unannounced. I don't remember,
Yeah,
I
man.
don't remember us calling up and saying, "Hey, can we come over?" and stuff like that.
now it's like you look at them, hey, kaun hai Hildre? Were we expecting anyone? Were we expecting? Now it's like, oh my God, you don't want people to come.
Yes,
right? It's
to
kinda
some extent, yeah. But even in Dubai, I don't know if you remember it. I mean,
Yeah, even in the
Gulf,
Dubai
yeah.
Gulf,
We
right,
used to. I remember when we used to come on holidays. Mom and dad were like, "Okay, what we'll do? Let's go to these people's house and chit chat kind of thing." And then they're talking about everything around the sun, predominantly like what's happening with school
Man, it's
and
changed
friends.
a lot. It's changed a lot. Now it's like
Unfortunately, it's not. I don't think people usually go. They don't go to each other's houses unless there's like an occasion kind of thing.
now it's a virtual thing, right?
Yeah,
It's all
probably.
over WhatsApp,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
my thing is done, my greeting is done. I
Yeah.
don't have to go and visit.
Exactly.
And, yeah, it's a shame, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it was good back in the day. Like your parents would make something at home and have
Sure.
it ready for the guests.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you would know like that they're coming, and we couldn't
Yeah.
touch the bath or cake or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was specially reserved for the
So
guests.
I was trying to remember
Yeah.
one of the sweets which I used to love during Christmas time. Do you remember this? You remember this thing called batika?
Yeah, bath. It's
Batka, okay,
It's the
so
same
this
thing.
was the one of the this is
Coconut cake.
the
It's like a
coconut one,
coconut
yeah, the
cake,
coconut
yeah,
one with the strips on top.
Yeah,
It
right,
used to come in this small little foil. I
Oh
used to
man, the
love
strips.
that.
Now
was
that
the,
you reminded me of the strip, that was like the highlight, the design.
the
right?
design, yeah.
It was like a, what do you call it? Like a sort of like a hot cross bun in a way.
Kind
that
of,
same
yeah,
design, like
yeah,
you would
yeah.
have. Nice.
I used to love that. Oof.
Yeah,
I remember there
oh.
used to be one small little bakery, of I would say a cake shop kind of on that close to the Margao railway station. It was a small little thing, tiny as hell.
Not
but
that Lothonly one again. No?
No.
I forgot the name also.
That one is God. We're becoming old. Even
Yeah.
I
Oh
forgot
God, I can't even recollect what I
Anyway,
did
so
yesterday.
we'll-
Yeah,
we'll-
you're saying.
Yeah, so this is the one that I used to love among all the selection of Goan sweets. This is the one that I loved so much so that I remember I used to even have it post January. We used to have so much of it at home
Right,
that it used to be part of my tiffin back to school and stuff, and I
wow.
relished it.
Oh, wow,
So
yeah.
that was brilliant, fantastic.
What I like about Christmas is when it's time for midnight mass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I mean, it's all over Goa. It's not only like in villages or something like that. Like when you were getting ready, I would love to sort of hear the footsteps on the road outside,
Okay.
like people walking to church.
Okay.
So that was kind of nice. Like everyone, you would see everyone, all your neighbors, everyone would dress up.
Yeah.
And they would be walking to church.
Yeah.
So and that I would always hear those footsteps in the night, like on the road, kind of people walking. And so it was nice. I mean, before I used to go to Shishini itself, and then to Loyola High School.
Okay. Oh, you
for
used
the
to come all
midnight
the way?
mass.
Okay.
I mean, just me.
Okay.
That time when I think I knew how to drive later.
Okay.
I could come and meet all the friends.
Yeah,
and,
that
but-
was fun.
Yeah,
That 31st night was that
and
was
it was
fun.
English, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
unfortunately, in Shishini, it was Konkani. So,
Okay. So
couldn't
you don't know your Konkani press?
I know some of them. I even
Okay.
did a reading once. Believe it or not, yeah. Baba Boyinu. Tumche mudka rata.
So we're announcing a reward for anyone who can find footage of Carrie speaking over
I
that
went
one.
for training that time. Oof. It was my first Holy Communion, and I had to like train myself to do the reading. I had to go to the priest, and oh man,
Yeah.
I suffered. But anyway, yeah. But have you ever wondered? I was thinking about this when Christmas Day is finished, right? Next day, from Christmas to New Year, we would always wish everyone with the greeting, compliments of the season.
Yeah, true.
I don't see it elsewhere. Like, I think being in Dubai, I've never had, okay, with Goans, yes, with
Okay.
Goans or maybe other Indians,
Yeah.
Christians, or but I think with the Europeans or whatever, I've never seen that. They would just say,
Merry Christmas. Yeah, and it's kind of awkward actually, because if you think about it, Christmas is like the day. I mean, there's a difference between Christmas and New Year. Christmas is the day. You celebrate that day as Christmas Day, but New Year, I mean, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th of January is the New Year. So you would wish someone New Year.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. People have come to me on the 26th and the 27th or the 28th and said Merry Christmas, and then I always kind of go back and say, oh yeah, compliments of the season kind of thing. It's weird.
Yeah, because we've been so used to
we're
it,
used
right?
to it, yeah.
And I was like, so you were
Is it a
saying?
Goan thing? No.
No. It is
No, you said no Europeans.
Indian with the Catholic community,
Catholic,
no
so
matter
it's more,
where
I
it
think,
is,
yeah.
whether it's Bombay
Probably.
or wherever. And I was doing some digging, and this priest said that I read the article written by this priest. It was like a blog thing, and he said that it was to keep things secular.
Okay.
So that's why they would say compliments of the season. When you wish someone, it's meant to be Christmas anyway. So that's and I think the tradition continued. And even the greeting Merry Christmas, right? Some people say Happy Christmas.
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered about that? Even my dad says it to me.
Okay.
And then here again, I was like, let me dig about this. And apparently in England, when you wish someone Merry Christmas, it was mainly the lower caste or something who would wish Merry Christmas.
Okay.
And the upper caste or whatever, the rich diplomats or whatever, would wish people with Happy Christmas.
Okay, that's interesting.
But then again, I don't know. I prefer Merry Christmas because we're so used to it, right?
It kind of falls easier when you say Merry Christmas than Happy Christmas. Something it's happy is more like birthday, and then Christmas is more like merry.
I mean that's what the article said. Also, we say Happy Easter. We say Happy Birthday, right?
Yeah.
But why don't we say Happy Christmas? We say Merry Christmas, right?
Interesting.
It's, very interesting. But we've been so used to the songs as well, right?
Yeah,
The songs as well. So I think I'm used to like Merry Christmas.
No, I was also thinking about it, to be honest, some time back, and I the thing when I was reading, I'm just pulling it up now.
Right.
It says, why do we greet people compliments of the season? And then it says the generic answer, of course, it's not someone, but if someone says it means that something is due to the feelings surrounded the holiday, such as good cheer or generosity during Christmas. It's supposed to go beyond just the Christmas day, I would imagine, and over the full season kind of thing. And that's why you say stuff like, compliments of the season.
Correct.
More than Merry Christmas every day. So you're spreading the cheer over a period of time.
Right.
But that's interesting what you just said
and of
about
course,
Merry.
we miss the most. I mean, at least I like the dances, of course. I mean, I don't know whether it's happening now. Like I said, we always spoke about this in our episodes. And before I forget, also anyone who'd like to share old vintage photographs or videos of the dances they've gone to, like back in the day, would be nice to share it with all our followers on social media. Please send it to us, and we'll put on the email address at the end of the show. So that'd be nice to kind of dig in and share all these like memorabilia in a way, like
nostalgic,
nostalgia. Before they die down, I hope they don't die, but and I think let's get into Goan names, right?
So one of the reasons why not the reasons, but one of the things that we said that we would touch on in this finale would be some of the things we found interesting that we discussed. And one of the things was Goan names.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it in the Patram episode, those who have not listened to the Patram episode where we discussed about, I'd say, popular Portuguese names. The image linked to those names, right? People would think something of it, or they would make fun of you or something like that. Back in the day, I'm talking about.
So this is what Bonnie was saying, right?
Yeah. Bonnie was saying, and Pedro, like names like Pedro or
why
Zuze.
People were not proud of it. And stuff like that.
People were not proud of it. Like we had a drunkard, this guy, a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Zuze, we used to call him Zuze, with his Jose in Spanish and Joseph in English.
Yeah.
He used to come to our place and do all the handy jobs and little jobs or whatever.
Yeah.
And he used to drink. Always he used to go and, he would go for the litanies, go and drink and sing and everything. He had a wife or something, and wife left him, and They become like bums, right? They become like bums. I got to tell you this funny story though. Once mom had sent him, this same guy Zuze, to buy bananas from
Okay.
the markets, right? So mom gave him some money and said, just go buy. And he went and the guy bought like almost rotten kind of bananas.
Okay.
And these rotten, like what do you call it? Semi-rotten bananas would be cheaper.
Yeah.
So what the guy did, he paid less, and that little money he had, he went to drink. So my uncle, who's a priest at the time, and he was visiting Goa, he was there.
Okay.
And mom was upset and pissed off, and then what my uncle priest did, he made Zuze to eat those bananas with the skin.
Oh my God.
That was his punishment. He said, "Andha tu." He said.
So wait a minute. So the guy goes to the market, picks up the ripened bananas,
Yeah.
and then has a drink and comes back home smelling.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he comes back smelling.
Yeah,
okay.
correct,
So
correct.
he's not.
That's
not,
what these tricks, right? They
Yeah,
use
yeah.
this strategy to get some money.
Yeah.
And the first thing, once they get their hand on money, right? The
Yeah.
thing they'll do is straight go to the tavern and get a drink. And it's sad, alcoholics, right? So, but that was a funny story. He actually made him stand there and eat all the bananas.
Oops.
So he had to stand and eat all the bananas. That was his punishment.
I was actually going back, after the Patram episode, I went back and did a little bit of digging on the names. And it was very interesting because if you go into Wikipedia, and there's something which has Goan Catholic names at least. So it's more predominant with the Catholic names and surnames. But what's interesting is that each of them had meanings, by the way. So for example, Anton comes from the Portuguese variant is Antonio, very similar.
Yeah.
The English is Anthony. And the meaning is flower.
Okay.
That's interesting. I never knew that.
What about Fernandez? Do you know the meaning? I know at least Pereira.
So I didn't want to say it out loud right now.
Okay.
But apparently, Fernandez, the 243rd most common surname in the world.
Wow. Okay.
Okay,
I
so
wonder
do we
what's
want
the
to go
first
with
one?
Pereira?
Okay, let's keep it for another show.
What's very interesting about Pereira is that it is quite, it has diversified in the sense you have a lot of, like the Sri Lankans have Pereira with the spelling, I think the I is missing.
Yes.
So the thing that I read about Pereira was that it has diversified and it has grown out of not only the Indian and the Portuguese, but it's the Catholic communities all over the world. It has grown. So you'll find a Pereira who's from could find him from Goa, but you'll also find a Pereira from Sri Lanka, maybe even some to far
even East
far
Indians.
east.
I think you would find
correct,
Indians. Even I was thinking about like the most popular name, right, in Goa. You know what I would think the popular name is? Savio.
Yeah, even I think so. Yeah,
Like always, you would have like a tag to that Savio you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So
I think it's because of
there are so many Savios.
Yeah.
How could you tell, right? Which Savio you're talking about?
Yeah. So remember we had this thing. So shout out to our very close friend Don Walsh, who was also a Savio. But I think,
his middle name was Don Walsh, so that's why we tagged him as.
But I think what happened was because there were so many Savios, each of them got their own like
someone
tag
who
or
would go
something.
regularly to like a, I don't know, like you say McDonald's or something, then you will keep him as Savio McDonald's or something like that. Yeah. So there's something
that
to
was
it.
us in school, I think, being
naughty
naughty boys.
But that must be the popular name. I
would
reckon.
imagine. I would imagine.
When we spoke about Caetan, right? Apparently it's Italian.
Is it?
And I think how it came into Goa is because I think of the saint. There was a saint named Caetan.
Okay.
So I think you have to agree with me. A lot of the families, I think they've taken saints' names.
Yeah.
And we have a friend named Blaze as well.
Yeah.
And he's named after a saint. So I think a lot of them are named. Maybe Savio as well, I think, is a saint name.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Saint Dominic
Saint
Savio,
Dominic
right?
Savio, yeah. Very common.
Yeah, very
By
common.
the way, Bon Fest today.
Oh,
Today is St. Francis
Bon
Xavier.
Fest, yeah, Bon Fest.
So,
Bon
so
Fest
all
to
guys
everyone.
listening, today is 4th of December, which is St. Francis Xavier.
Yeah.
And some interesting news is apparently they're going to be pulling. There's going to be next year.
They're going to pull the
down, and so you can actually go and see it.
Yeah. Did you ever go for that?
I did it. Yeah, I did. I did the time when the Pope came.
That was like way back.
Way back, yeah. When I was a small little chap.
All I can tell you is, I don't know, I went the last time when they brought the body out and...
Controversial alert right now.
Oh, well. But it was like, man, dude, I'm telling you, like 1.5 hour in that line.
Okay, yeah.
And you just reach the body like just 10 seconds, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's,
It's
I don't know.
unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate. Like you
Yeah.
just spend only like 5 to 10 seconds. You just move
Yeah.
and that's it. Finish. I think the only good thing is eating the choris pav.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So if you had to tell me what was on my list of priorities, seeing the body of Saint Francis Xavier and Choris Pav, I think Choris Pav was on top.
Yeah, I think that is the only thing I would look forward to. Sorry, but yeah, I think it's something to see as well, like getting the old church and you know, old Goa. The church has always been popular and famous with tourists.
Still a crowd puller.
Yeah,
I mean, still a lot of people coming. I remember when I was in hospitality, I used to be talking to guests, you know, and 9 out of 10 times they would be like, okay, we want to go to Old Goa. That's definitely on top of the list.
Yeah, I think anyone who visits Goa should visit Old Goa.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful piece of
that
architecture.
was a given. That place is. I mean, maybe even Kalangut Baga would not be on the list,
man.
but Old Goa was definitely something. Even we very proudly, you know, we said, okay, you need to. Why don't you go and have a look? You know, it's 3 churches. You can make half a day out of it, and then if it was the right time, they had these small little shops as well, or not the gardos kind of thing, where you have bought. These small things like, you know, rosaries and you know, some mementos kind of thing. Yeah. So
and not to mention those body parts. You know what? The wax body parts, right?
Yeah.
They would. I mean, it happens all over.
Yeah.
But I think I'd like to visit I think it's the Basilica of Bomb Jesus, right?
Yeah.
What it's called. So they have some musical concerts during a non-peak time kind of thing. So they have like classical choirs and things like that. Beautiful. I've seen some little videos. That would be nice to and you know, watch and you know, visit at the time.
So these are what like Goan boys and girls coming together and doing
mix. It can be like some choir from another place, or it's a local choir. Or they'll have like a classical orchestra playing there. And I think even they've done opera, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Even a little bit of opera in it.
Wow.
So it's nice.
That's
even the
really
acoustics, right, of the church will be fantastic. So so it's I think worth the visit. I'd love to visit when there's a sort of a recital or a music recital over there. It would be nice to kind of visit. You know, we spoke about Zuze the drunkard and his visit to the taverns, right?
Yeah.
So I was reading this interesting book. If anyone wants to get their hands on, it's called One for the Road, Role of Alcohol in Goan Society. It's written by Beulah V. Cruz Pereira. You can probably see it here. You know, interesting thing, she says that in 1932, there were at least 417 tavernas in Goa.
Okay.
So, yeah. And people, if you're asking what a taverna is, the explanation is here. Apparently, a bar is a sophisticated place where one is proud to be sipping a whiskey, gimlet, rum, or chilled beer. A bar is a place where socially mobile people can meet without any inhibitions. On the other hand, only males visit a taverna. It caters to the indigenous taste of Feni. So yeah, that's very true actually. I mean, back when we were growing up, right, we would never go to the taverns. Like every village would have a tavern.
Yeah.
And it was like frowned upon. You couldn't be seen there.
Yeah.
Like it was like I said, only like the book says that it's only males who would go there. And like the workers, all these, what do you call that, bums or drunkards would go there.
True.
So if anyone saw you in that tavern, then you know your image is like, so yeah, it is like bad news for you. Like if, but yeah, now it's becoming hip because times have changed and people are kind of doing up their bars. Like there's one in the north called Joseph's Bar, which is very famous. So a lot of these bars are kind of like changed a bit now to cater to the tourist, and which is nice. I think it's kind of nice.
So actually, after we did that episode, I was kind of intrigued a little bit when I went digging a bit. And if memory serves me right, in the good old days, they had actually different taverns for different, like for example, there was a tavern for the toddy tappers, the people who were coming from the fields. Then there
Right.
was one for the fishermen by the coasts, and then so much so they even had taverns which were run overnight. Overnight, so these were people who were like working late shifts or whatever.
Okay.
And they would visit the bar and have a drink, a cop kind of
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
or
yeah,
one
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
and then head home after a long day's work.
Right, right.
So the bar concept was it was kind of the tavern concept was very much molded based on the needs. I mean, like we discussed before, these guys who work in the fields, very
Yeah.
physical.
Yeah.
It's a I mean,
And
I would say
even the book says like Feni and whatever Urak had like medicinal
medicinal. Yeah,
properties.
it was about keeping the body
Yes, yes.
strong for that kind
I mean,
of
even
work.
your parents, right, or,
Yeah.
or grandmother would give you like a little bit of Feni with sugar
Yeah.
when you had a cold or something like that.
True.
And apparently they would have Urak shots,
Yeah.
just to get them energized a bit.
Yeah.
So fascinating. I mean, even I think Carl mentioned it. The
Yeah.
Feni guy who we had on our show
Yeah.
spoke about this, and even Feni was like a sort of a low grade liquor. At least
Yeah.
this is what the book says.
They
Like
called it. So they have every state had their own liquor. So this was, that's the reason why it has. I believe again, if memory serves me right, I could be wrong on this, but if memory serves me right, it is very difficult to start production of these alcohols like Feni in bulk because they are under some kind of, they're special to the state. So
Yeah.
these kind of things. So I believe
yeah, I mean,
for quite
hats
some time.
off the people may not be aware, or I don't know, Neil, if you're aware that the cashew Feni's particularly is cannot be produced anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's only Goa has the rights,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's valor to the guys,
Yeah,
the
true.
Feni Association, I think. I don't know who was behind it in particularly.
Yeah,
Like to
because you
get
don't
that
want
done.
a Feni coming out of any other state. I mean,
Yeah.
no disrespect
True.
to any of the states, but
Yeah,
that's what distinguishes us
Yes.
different from everyone else. So
Correct,
yeah, it's a great thing that they've kind of, as you say, got the rights to
produce Feni,
this kind
distill
of thing.
Feni.
This but
Yeah.
in that sense, it was also difficult for them probably to get these kind of production rights.
Yeah.
But I think Carl mentioned that it's being exported right now. It's
Yeah.
just it's not as big as
Yeah,
it's
it will
supposed
take
to be.
a little bit of time. I mean, they are on a good path. I have to say what they're doing, especially like shout out goes to Hansel Vaz. I hope to have him on
Yeah.
our show. He's doing a lot for Feni.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, see, I think every drink had its, challenges, right? Maybe tequila and, beat mezcal. And now mezcal is coming, which is sort of from the family of tequila.
Okay.
And it's slowly coming in. So all these things, like vodka and sake or whatever it is, it takes some time.
Yeah.
It's not like Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So hopefully, who knows? Maybe we'll see Feni in so many countries. You never know,
Yeah.
right? Hopefully,
Yeah.
let's see. It's a
I think another
fantastic drink.
interesting. I just pulled it up now. Was there's a guy who wrote up something about the food that gets served with it. So you had the chone bikna, boiled eggs.
Right, in the bars, right?
Yeah, in the bars.
yeah.
Bangro, the salted mackerel, dry and salted
right.
mackerel.
Wow.
And choris, of course, with the bread, fish cutlets and beef cutlets. And he said typically these snacks are dry, rich bar food, which will take in the alcohol. So that by itself is a great experience. I mean, going back, having Feni, having these kind of Goan specialities.
I don't
that
know
would
if
be
it's
nice.
still there,
That
though,
would
I
be
mean,
that's what
yeah.
that's what I was getting to. I mean, I'm not sure whether this is still this culture is still alive in the bars in Goa. But maybe somebody could reach out to us and let us know.
I mean, very few. I think it's dropping, and now the taverns are dropping, but the bars are there, like
Yeah.
the new modern bars,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The taverns, I think, because you don't see many of these drunkards anymore,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of them have left. Also, Goans have left on the ship and things like that, or
Yeah.
moved to UK. So you see these things dropping.
Yeah.
But there are nice like pockets, unless you know someone who will take you for some good food, and there are some bars and they'll sharp close at 9 or 10, and they leave you there.
Yeah.
So this is fascinating. I mean, I went once with this friend of mine, and he took me to this small kind of tavern, I would say, in Kolwa, I think somewhere. It was like a house,
Okay.
and it was like 10 or 9 or something like that.
Okay.
And the guy said, I'm closing, I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
And he closed down everything, lights off, and just my friend and me are having our drink, man.
Okay.
I'm having my urak and he's having a beer or something like that.
Yeah.
And we're just talking and, chilling. Because, I mean, you got to respect them, right?
Yeah.
They've been working hard and they
Yeah.
want to close down. They just
Yeah.
want to go home, right?
But to say that, now that you've said it, memory serves me also a little bit where he says, I remember there were times when even I was sitting down at a bar, lights switched off, everyone's closed, just 2-3 of us. But the guy always took care of you in the sense he would say,
Yeah.
okay, listen, man, do you want to have if you're going to have beers, are you going to have 3 or 4 beers? What's your number kind of, and order it and pay for it and finish it off.
Right.
So it's more like saying, listen, I'm leaving, but you're more than welcome to even spend the night if you want at the place.
And apparently, I think these guys do it because there are some guys who get out of hand and they'll keep on drinking. And,
Yeah.
they stay late, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
work is work and you need to rest, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I don't blame these guys. But yeah, fascinating.
Yeah.
And coming to I would say back to the future moment or flashback.
Okay.
Have you ever had a mini farm in your
we
house?
discussed a little bit about this some time back. No.
Yeah,
But you said that you did, right?
Yeah,
You were a farmer, huh?
I had chicks. I was going to say chicks.
Oh, so these were the chicks you were talking about.
I didn't lie. So, I was going to school. Hey, I have so many chicks here. They're all at home. Arey, wow, Carrie's got so many chicks. So yeah, we had I think every house had a mini farm. A backyard farm, I would call it.
Okay.
So you would definitely have chicks. I mean, here you go again, chickens and pigs.
Okay.
You'd have chickens and pigs.
So you had one at your place, is it?
No. This was way
before?
back. Yeah.
Oh, you
way
had
back.
it. Okay.
And a well as well. Huh?
Yeah,
I mean, depending on the house, yeah.
Everyone,
We still
everybody
have
has.
a well. We
Yeah.
still have a well, but the farm has disappeared. I mean, the mini farm.
Okay.
But growing up, we had chickens and pigs. So a lot of the houses would have that, and I think it's for the for the feasts and any occasions, right? They would kill the chickens and whatever.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Sorry, sorry to the vegetarians out there.
Peace be upon those chickens.
Yeah, and the pigs and all. But one funny story there as well.
Okay.
Once my mom was trying to make an omelette,
Okay.
and she couldn't break the egg here.
Okay.
She was going on trying so hard. She was trying to break that egg. It was from our farm.
Okay.
And we figuring out why that egg is not, breaking.
Okay.
And we go outside to see that the hen was eating from the Fevicol bucket.
Oh.
For all those who do not know, Fevicol is a glue. Sorry, I had to let that out.
And thank you to our brand sponsor, Fevicol.
Yeah. free advertising over here. But that was an old advert actually.
Yeah. Fevicol used to do that. I mean, again,
I should tell
branding,
everyone
we should-
this.
Yeah. But it's interesting, because a little bit of the village that I was in Lothalim, which was the maid's place I told you, I never saw these kind of small little backyard farms, so I don't have any kind of recollection. But what I do recollect is the killing of the pig for the feasts,
Right, yeah.
And I have this memory of the first time I saw it, and I was actually thrown off. I mean, I think if again I went across and I told my family, I said I don't think I'm eating sorpotel again in my life, but that was of course short lived.
I think we all had that. I think we all heard the cries and all that, and then we ended up eating for lunch or dinner.
No, I mean it's so I don't want to be too graphic, but the killing process is kind of cruel.
I've never seen, but I've seen they've taken on the bicycles and all, they've taken pigs and all that stuff, and they would cry and that was the only thing. But
No,
I've never actually seen.
I've seen it. I've
Okay,
seen the
okay.
actual the process of killing a pig and it's
I think we should
stuck
put a
with me.
disclaimer before episode. But yeah, anyway.
Even when I was I have this joke with my daughter because my daughter has only chicken, by the way. She doesn't have pork, she doesn't have beef, and she enjoys the mutton. So it's chicken and mutton.
Not even
And
fish, right?
No fish
Seafood.
as well. Yeah, there's
Okay.
no fish for a very long time. She didn't even have eggs.
Okay.
Somehow she was. I don't know what was the story with her,
Okay.
but she never had it. But what's the one thing I keep on teasing her is about because when I was in Bombay
Right.
for a good year and a half, we were staying in this Ville Pale area,
Right.
close to the airport, and I used to go and pick up the chickens, for the weekend.
Okay.
Not the
Not the
chicks.
real alive chickens, right?
No, so like my wife's saying, okay, go, let's have chicken for lunch.
Yeah.
So I sit in the car, go to the Ville Pale market.
Okay.
And the guy used to literally show me the live chicken and says,
In the cage and all that
yeah, in the
stuff.
cage, and say, okay, choose one. And then so he used to pick that one, slit it, and then and
Oh,
there.
shit.
So
Damn.
it was dramatic to
Right,
see
right,
the
right,
things,
right.
simple.
So you didn't go buy the Venky's chicken? or
No.
something?
So we had this thing because we wanted the fresh chicken, and this was your guaranteed fresh chicken because you had to choose the chicken and he
Wow,
would
I didn't
kill
know
it.
they do it there, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then,
Shit.
again, to be a disclaimer, to be a little bit graphic, but, they slit it and they put it into a bucket and you can hear the headless chicken flapping for its life in it.
Shit, damn.
So
Okay,
I keep on joking with my daughter saying that, one fine day if I get the opportunity.
You're quite a mean dad. Right? Oh my God.
I'm gonna show you how chickens come to your plate.
Yeah, end of the day, and I think all these they are living animals, right?
Yeah.
I think it's all the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's memories. I don't think you see them now. Honestly, it's because everyone goes to the supermarket or they'll go to their local butcher or whatever. Now, no one would keep.
Yeah.
Those days are gone.
Yeah. I mean, now it's about it's about what are they called? Frozen chickens. What are they called? I can't get the word for it, but I still remember we used to go to our local guy. There was a guy down cold storage.
Oh
And he had everything. So he had your milk, your eggs, and your chickens. And these are.
And now it's like every. I'm talking about villages, right? You would
Yeah.
all have these cold storages or supermarkets now, so it's
Yeah.
very easy for a consumer to go and buy.
Yeah.
So it's no longer fresh in a way.
That's the only thing. That's
Yeah,
the downside, to be honest with you. So that's the thing, because you really don't know what they've done to get that chicken.
But
where it
if
is.
you get these fresh, you get they call it like Gounty chicken.
Okay.
So that's like fresh.
Okay.
But the meat won't be so a lot, because these guys do something to the chickens,
Yeah,
I guess, right? To
It's,
mass production.
yeah.
So, but yeah, the meat is, but I mean, it's tasty and whatever, but it's not the same. Like the meat is not as much
Yeah.
as
True.
compared to a frozen chicken or whatever you buy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's enough of the food talk.
We're salivating right now.
Yeah,
We're talking about
salivating,
all these yummy stuff.
So let's get to the serious side of things. And we were reading about water pollution, right?
Yeah. So we wanted to highlight something back to all our Goan diaspora.
I would say like a Goan rant.
This is actually our rant because apparently there was an article that came out recently where they spoke about the fact that the water in the beaches or the water in Goa is so polluted that it has pathogens and which can cause disease and all. So this is as early as October 13, 2023. The Goan was the first, the newspaper was the one that put up the article which said about the fact that there's a high concentration of fecal coliform and biochemical oxygen, both of which form pathogens and bacteria in water. So
Did they say like how did it trigger or how did it happen? Like, is it because of the garbage or?
So what they've said is that these guys, the beach shacks and all these guys, they don't dispose of their sewage water and all properly.
Oh.
So that's all getting, there's no proper system of taking off the bad water or the sewage water, and
they just dump it.
So it's whatever. It's like throwing your garbage into the ocean kind of thing, and that's what's happening over here. Tourism bounced back or post COVID, but one of the things that hurt us very badly was this. which is a scary thing. I mean, there are a lot of people who like to go back to Goa and swim.
Yeah, it's known for its beaches,
Yeah,
right?
it's known for its beaches. So, I mean, if we've polluted the beaches to such an extent that we're going to fall sick.
And it's like those famous beaches. I mean, I can see it here as well. Miramar, Kalangut, Morjim,
Yeah,
Tirakol, Vagator,
Yeah.
Mobor, Kolva even. in
Kolva
the
as
south,
well, yeah, in the
Gajibagh.
south, yeah. So wherever there's any kind of shacks or these guys who are any commercial thing happening, that's where the problems originating from. And of course, it's the same waters. I mean, for example, the Kolva waters to some extent come down to even from where I'm from, Karmana and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you can't really say it's only Kolva that's in a bad condition. It's the full of Goa.
Yeah,
I mean, once you tip the water, you dilute the water, whatever, you dirty the water, it's dirty water. Nothing cleans it back for you.
The sad thing I would also blame is that we don't even have proper trash bins, like at the beaches. I think, if you don't have trash bins, where are these people going to throw, right?
Yeah.
And people are not really going to carry.
Yeah.
Very few who are very concerned.
Yeah.
They will carry the trash with them and take it somewhere else.
True.
But I think this is the problem as well. The government, and they're not doing anything about it. Sad to say. But people, as much as you can, try to not trash, I would say. Yeah, whatever they.
So
I
think
rarely go to the beaches, to be honest. When I go to,
I think the key thing over here is education. It starts with us at least talking about it. What's most important is that we as Goans have a responsibility to go back to our families and talk about this and say, okay, this is a problem, and what is our responsibility in that?
Yeah.
What can we do from a micro level that can impact on a macro level, a full state and stuff like that.
You're right. It has to start from the foundation.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah,
Correct.
I mean that's where they say education is key over here. So you try to do a little bit of recycling. You try to do a little bit of segregation. As far as your waste is concerned, be smart about it. It's not that difficult.
But I think it's also you. I really don't know, because shacks as well, right? And on the beaches.
This is governmental. I mean, if you go back to the rant, that this is basically the government is not,
because I don't know how they dispose their trash.
Yeah, they should be. It's a regulation. There should be regulation. There should be checks. I'll just give you a simple thing of how it works in Dubai. So this is why you and I probably are happy to stay in a place like Dubai, because it's so well regulated and they're so on top of things. So I'll give you a simple thing of, for example, we have in hotels, you have your sewage, which is all automated right now. So, for example, when it's being picked up, your pumps, sewage pumps and pits, whatever, there's a proper system. It's all online. Okay. You won't believe it. Now, recently, Dubai has even started something where they're going to fit in, like through Wi-Fi, they're going to be fitting in devices that can actually tell the vendor. So the vendor is the person who's coming and collecting it from your business. Is going to tell him that, okay, there's a pit or there's a pump which is about 60-70% full, so you need to come and pick it up. So you don't need for the business owner to call you and say, come and clear my waste or whatever and stuff like that. Right. So that's how it should be. I mean, Dubai government has reached a stage where they're like, you worry about your business and we'll do everything in our power to make sure that this is regulated and this is done properly. So it's not that easy, and this is where I would say, again, part of our rant should be part of what the Goa government should be focusing.
Yes.
Somebody said this to me the other day, and I'm quoting him. He said, they make so many visits internationally.
True.
They say that they're learning stuff, but they're not really putting it into practice. So
I think it's just a holiday for them.
I mean, it's sad, but there's so much you can learn, and we're just 3 hours away from India, for crying out loud. So if they can come to Dubai and see how
I think, to be honest, Neil, sorry to stop you there, but I think these guys need to live in a place like Dubai, or at least for a good number of years, to understand, and then only they will. I think merely one visit would not.
I mean, true. That's true.
I guess to help shift that mindset, and you know what I mean.
I mean, probably. I mean,
but then again, they wouldn't go back there.
That's another thing, right?
That's another thing.
So Anyway, so it's one of our rants for the season finale.
Yeah, I would say that's
we
yeah.
missed a couple of rants down the road in the last
Yeah,
10
we
episodes.
get so engrossed talking to guests, and
guests,
we've
yeah.
had a good number of guests, I would say. It's been
But this is why
lovely.
we started, right? We started the
that's why
show
we
to say
started,
that
yeah,
we
to
wanted to also talk about stuff that
interview fellow Goans.
yeah, that's one part of it, but more part of it is for us to kind of bring out what's happening in Goa and to educate.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, Carrie, I've learned so much over the last 10 episodes talking to you about Goa.
Right,
And I said this in episode 1 is that I'm here, I want to learn stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
true,
and I hope that this platform kind of triggers other people out there, you know, doing what I do, going back after a show and Googling and, you know, getting educated and finding out what's happening in Goa, if not anything else. And then when you have those conversations back home, I hope you can, you know, throw a little bit of tidbit saying, okay, guys, let's start from the home and then move further to the government. What can we do on a micro level to take us back to the macro?
Yeah, hopefully it'll get out there and they will listen and things will change.
Yeah.
And coming to now our Valor section.
Yeah, so we missed out on that as well. No, but in the last one, I think we did well. We recognized Sumioki, and Sumioki went across to win. Huh? That was a big
he
one.
won, and now he's like touring all over India.
Yeah,
that's what I last saw.
I mean that was a big one to win in that was it Billboard? Was
it was MTV Europe Music Awards.
So the guy is doing really well. I hope he just grows more and more in success.
Yeah.
But in today's Valor section, I wanted to do a Valor to Katia Coelho.
Yes.
So
I
Katia,
read about it.
Yeah, Katia has been, and I'm reading it off, has became the first female IQ foiler from the country to qualify for the Asian Games in 2023. She's actually followed in her father's footsteps. Her father as well, Donald Coelho, was a former national windsurfing champion.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then she is now followed, and she's doing really well. I mean, she's being recognized on the national level. So well done, Katya. One of the things I wanted to highlight is that it's a very a difficult sport. They asked her about it. Yeah, so just to put it into perspective of how difficult it is for her to be being on top of the sport. She says something on the lines of she had to step out of her comfort zone and perform in wind speeds regularly above 18 knots. That's approximately 33 kilometers per hour.
Oh.
So you've got winds pushing you at 33 kilometers an hour, and your body is is wired to be successful in that sport.
Right. Wow.
So it was, we had winds. He says we had winds up to 22 knots. It's one of the toughest competitions because she had a very bad and high impact fall due to the strong wind conditions and high speed. So she struggled and she's come out of it. So once again, valor to you, Katya. We wish you all the very best. And we hope to see you not only reaching milestones, but overcoming and being very successful in the future.
Yep. And coming now to remembering the greats. And today we'd like to talk about Valmiki Falero, who passed away in October. Mm-hmm. And he had a brief stint in politics in the mid-80s, and he was in the Margao Municipal Council. He was known for his decision-making. And it's sad. Heard so much about him.
So again, I was reading a little bit about this. He was actually a businessman, if I'm not mistaken, and he kind of he stopped his business and he went into writing and stuff like that.
Yes.
And he was. I mean, I remember the name is very strong in my memory that people were talking about Valmiki Falero.
Yeah, he was in the Margao Municipal Chairperson. And he did a lot for Margao, I believe. Back in 1985.
Yeah.
And before he passed away, he wrote this book, which is 1961, Goa 1961, The Complete Story of Nationalism and Integration. So I've not gotten my book copy as yet, but I would love to get my hands on it. This was the last book. And I'd like to read this quote, which he mentions in the book. And he says, "The Goan is reduced to a minority in his own land, Goa, may a few decades into the future remain only in name.
Oops, that's a bit sad.
Yeah, wow. I'm like, so yeah.
I think what we need to do is use that as a force to rejuvenate, kind of, and push and keep at least our culture alive.
Yes.
If not anything else. I liked what Shilpa mentioned in our previous episode.
Yeah.
She's like, with growth, there's going to be a lot of people coming in, adjusting to life and stuff like that. I mean, it's fair, right? I mean, there are a lot of Goans, for example, who've gone to UK and they've gone to Canada, and they just want to be part of a fulfilling community where they are recognized for their achievements, kind of thing.
Correct. Yeah.
And they contribute to a successful society. But I think what I liked about Shilpa talking about it was that she made a point to say that the government should kind of make sure that these people coming in are kind of how do you say it? They understand Goan culture, or at least they're taught a little bit about it, and they are kind of I don't say trained, but I want to say they understand what is about Goa and they keep that alive. A very simple example would be, I'm not sure if you're aware about it. So, for example, when many of our Indians who travel to the US and Canada and UK, and then they apply for their their residency or their citizenship, there's actually a test, by the way. So, for example, in the US, you have to answer a test. So you have to study about American history. You have to study about the culture. You have to know.
Right.
You just can't say, okay, I want to get a passport and that's it. No, you have to kind of do some kind of allegiance to the US. You're saying that. So that's pretty much a model, I think, which I hope the Goa government also does, wherein they, people coming in. Of course, we're all Indians. It's very difficult. You can't give a Goan passport or a Goan ID. But to some extent, they should be.
I think there are ways.
Through the local communities, through the local sarpanches or whatever, the municipalities or the local things, sarpanches, whatever. They should actually say, okay, people coming in who are not from Goa, have to do some kind of. They have to understand the Goan culture. They have to understand our history a little bit. Educating them. I'm sure they don't mind being educated. They would love to know about it, and they would love to be part of. There's so many Goans right now who technically are not Goans as in ancestrally. Their forefathers came to Goa, but today they're very proudly saying that they're Goans, and that's nice. That's great. That's true.
I mean, we had friends growing up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you looked at their lineage, they would say they're probably from Maharashtra or Delhi or Calcutta or XYZ, whatever.
True.
They were Indians before anything else. But today, before that, they very proudly say that they're Goans.
Correct.
So I mean, and
it should be kind of the same way in a way.
I mean, they took it upon themselves to understand Goan culture. They can talk to us about everything around
and
the
even
sun.
speak the local language, like they speak Konkani.
Exactly. Before they speak Hindi, right? That's pretty much, I think, what Shilpa was getting into, saying that that's what, if the government kind of puts these small little things in place, then we welcome them and we share our culture and hope that they get to enjoy it as much as we have.
So is that what would you say that you took from the episodes we've had so far, like what you learned?
Yeah, I mean, one of the many things. I mean, there's so many things. I'm very happy that you came to me one day and said, let's do this podcast. Because it's been enlightening. I think I'm a little bit more Goan than I was before when we started.
Right. In fact, I wanted to say a very big thank you to you for coming on the show. I couldn't do this alone. And I'm very grateful for. Unless I had a sock puppet, like talking to myself. Well, that's probably.
As I mentioned last time, I'm your sidekick on this journey, which is fascinating.
It's been fun, and I think a lot more to come next year.
Yeah,
we've got fantastic ideas, people. So.
So it's just for those of you are listening behind the scenes, the two of us have been brainstorming a lot. We've got a lot of ideas, a lot of guests we're very excited to invite and have over. We just hope that schedules match or meet or whatever.
We hope it'll happen.
It will happen sooner rather than later. But there's exciting guests. I mean, every time Carrie calls me up and says, how about this guest? And I'm like, yes, let's get them on today. Can you get them on tomorrow? So we're very excited about what's coming up in what we're going to call season 2.
Yeah, yeah.
in
Season 2, yeah.
2024.
Looking forward to. We have a fantastic lineup, I would say.
Yeah.
Fabulous lineup. And I'd like to give a big thank you to the fans and the listeners, the viewers who have been listening to our show and supporting us. Thank you so much. We appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.
And like always, please share it with your friends. And
Yeah.
if you have any ideas, let us know any suggestions on what we can include or improve or whatever,
Yeah, and even guests for that matter. I mean,
Yeah, even
if
guests.
you know someone who you think we would all learn from. I mean, our goal, our goal has always been to. When Carrie and I first met, Carrie's key objective was to keep our culture alive through this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Do our part as the elderly to teach the younger generation about the culture of Goa.
True. Yeah, yeah.
And I think along the way, we also realized, and this is what I realized, is that this was a great platform to recognize fellow Goans who were successful.
Yeah.
So all these guests that we've had, in their own way, in their own right, they are successful Goans.
Yeah, yeah.
Be it in singing like Esther,
Yeah.
be it in as a DJ Anish in the
Yes.
first episode, Kevin with his food truck.
Yeah.
Brilliant guests. We had a couple of friends for the Patra one. That
Patra
was a fun
episode.
episode.
Yeah.
And then it all ended up.
We
pretty
went little
well.
international as well, Nairobi.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We did.
Thanks to Nick.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if you had to ask me where did I learn the most, I would say I learned the most on the Nairobi episode because
Me too, yeah.
it
me
was
too.
really fun.
I think the two things what he said, which I'd like to bring it out again. I think, one is he spoke about Goan leadership.
Yeah.
Like, be it wherever, associations, like, it's not about just getting the post, right?
Yeah.
The designation of being a whatever, chairman, chairperson,
Yeah.
and you're not doing anything.
Correct.
Times change. You got to think of ways to bring the community together, right?
Yeah.
And second thing, what he said, which we didn't have on the show, but it was in our, how should I say, the raw recording, where he spoke about Goans only being there for like events, be it some feast or parties or whatever, Goans are there.
Yeah.
But when it comes to helping in the community, not all of them are there.
Yeah.
People have their
Sad,
opinions,
but
and
true.
it's sad and true as well.
Yeah.
Whatever little thing, I think Goan should come out and help. Even
Yeah.
that's what we are trying to do with the podcast, and take it to places, and even hopefully, fingers crossed, we also want to do some community events as well to get the Goans
Don't leak
meeting
out
in the
too much.
flesh. So hopefully, yeah.
But don't leak out too much.
We gotta. If I tell you, I have to kill you.
So it was a great year, 2023. As I was saying, we had a big learning from the Nairobi episode, and it kind of sat well when we ended with Joy and Shilpa. Entrepreneurs, Goan entrepreneurs who've done really well. Very.
We have
interesting
some
to
more
learn.
entrepreneurs coming up soon.
So
next in
our
season
goal
2.
for 2024 is to take on the full spectrum, get in a lot of from different fields, as you may call it, arts, music, entrepreneurs, and so forth and so on.
Even medicine,
Anyone, even for that matter, we've discussed about people who, in this day of age, let's say, identify as Goans, but may not actually be from,
originally,
half it could be half Goans as well. We'd
true,
love to know how the Goan culture has impacted their growth or their, their learnings or their personality more so than anything else. So if you have any ideas, guys, please reach out to us. I'm going to go this time and say it's kissmeamgoan@gmail.
Don't forget the IG handle.
And the IG handle. So we're going to, obviously it's going to be somewhere
on the screen.
on
You'll
the
see it on the
right
screen.
now. You're going to see it. Yeah. So kissmeamgoan@gmail.com. Any constructive criticism, any ideas, any recommendations are more than welcome. We'd love to know how we can take season 2 to new heights.
And once again, big obrigado, thank you, and mucho mog, I would say, to all the fans who've been listening. And yes, please send us your ideas, suggestions, whatever it may be. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much.
So we're wrapping up. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, New
Carrie,
and
a very
Happy New Year in
New
advance
Year.
as well.
Yeah, 2024. Wishing you and your family all the very best.
Wish you the same, and wish to
Yes.
greetings to all our viewers. Merry
Yes.
Christmas and a Happy New Year. Feliz Natal, as we say.
Feliz Natal and then Feliz Navidad
Feliz Navidad, yeah.
for the new year.
Adios.
Adios, guys. More guys.
Take care. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.